We start out this Monday morning with some breaking news.
A tropical storm Harvey now continues to hit Texas hard this morning, and we're getting an update live right now from FEMA and DHS in Washington, D.C. Let's listen in.
We all know that there are several refineries as well as Superfund sites, so contaminated sites in this region where we're seeing a lot of flooding. So my question is, do you all have an assessment as far as what's in the water at this point and what are the health implications for the people who are wading through the water? I mean, we're talking about a lot of toxic chemicals specifically from those Superfund sites.
You know, at this time, it's still a developing situation. We're so focused on life safety. We understand that the environment piece is going to be big in this case, but we do not have accurate information.
And I have the same, for HHS Secretary Price. I mean, do you have any, as far as what you're learning about the potential health impacts for people?
As Brock said, it's very early in this, but what we do know is that the water in Corpus Christi and in Victoria area, recommendation for boiling of the water before consumption. The good news is that the work that's been done, the pre-deployment that's been done, as Brock says, there's significant assets, water assets there that are available for folks, and that's the challenge that we have, is getting them to people.
And also, just in terms of the refineries, most of the refineries exercised voluntary shutdown before the storm hit. Very prudent measure, and that will help with any environmental issue.
Is the number of 24%, 25%, a quarter of them already shut down, correct?
I believe, I do not know the exact number, but it was, most of them did do a voluntary shutdown well in advance of landfall.
Administrator Brock, you have, normally we hear emergency officials say, let the first responders handle it. You've just called for volunteers, for American citizens to jump in and help Texas. What does that say about the situation right now?
I mean, this is a landmark event for Texas. Texas has never seen an event like this. This is going to eclipse Ike. It's going to eclipse Allison that occurred in 2001. And based on the benchmarks of those storms, we know it's going to be large.
Mr. Administrator, we've seen images of the Coast Guard heroically rescuing people off rooftops, citizens going in their boats to pull neighbors out of houses, images we really haven't seen in this capacity since Katrina. Should there have been a bigger effort to evacuate Houston and surrounding areas than we saw, given the amount of flooding?
Yep, that's a great question. So all evacuation decisions are made at the local level within Texas, but right now, I believe that every local official, state official, including us, we're operating with the best information we've been provided at the time. As I said earlier, the National Weather Service has done a heck of a job setting this up and letting people know that this is going to be torrential rainfall inland in an inland event. The problem with forecasting rainfall is it's one of the toughest things to do. You can say that it's going to rain over 5 days over a 30-county jurisdiction, but pinpointing exactly what watershed that rain is going to go into, it's dang near impossible to figure that out. And unfortunately, the city of Houston's huge. It's 2 to 3 million people. Pulling the trigger on that is an incredibly difficult situation. A lot of times, when you're facing a city like that in a rainfall event, you have to ask people to shelter in place. Because of the time frame that you're given. The time frame to evacuate the city of Houston could take days, literally days. So I believe that everybody's doing the best that they can right now with the information that they've been provided.
Quick follow-up, do people need to get out? I mean, do people need to start thinking about getting out now? You're talking about another 15 to 20 inches of rain over the next 2 to 3 days.
People need to listen to the local officials right now in the Houston area, because I do not want to step on the governor. I do not want to step on local officials and confuse the message, because the most important thing during a disaster is a consistent message down to the public. So right now, we need them to listen to the local officials in each one of their jurisdictions.
Where in Texas are you? Is that a decision that needs to be reviewed after the fact, so we learn from this situation? The decision to have people stay in Houston?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is listen, after every disaster, we do what are called after-action reports. We have to go down and exhaustively get better after every disaster. It started, and we've been doing those solidly since Katrina. I mean, we want to get better, guys. We're in the business of saving lives and helping people. We don't want people to go through hardship and get killed.
Well, you're listening to a live news conference this morning from FEMA, calling this a landmark event for the state of Texas. According to the U.S. Coast Guard, there have been upwards of 2,000 rescues so far, more on the way. And we just heard moments ago, he's saying this is not only about emergency responders, asking all citizens to get involved here.
That's right. Whether you're far away here in Arizona to donate money to help in the relief efforts or anywhere in the Texas area, they've gone so much to say, if you have a boat, bring it down to Houston. I mean, obviously get in contact with the right people. We need every single American's help in this as we continue to follow this, of course, historic storm. The big